Hi, happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to obviously a Friday edition of Time on Overtime on this, the one and only Time on Overtime YouTube channel. I'm Rick Arsenal. You know the drill here. Please, if you haven't done so yet, get down there in the corner, smash that like and subscribe button. And as I've said several times before, I don't necessarily like the use of the word subscribe. I think that scares a lot of people off. They subscribe to something, they think they're making a monetary commitment. Nothing could be further from the truth here. What's the advantage of subscribing? Well, you get notified every time I do this live, like right now. Or if you're watching right now, you're a subscriber. Or you can watch it at your own leisure. That's entirely up to you. That's the advantage. Otherwise, this doesn't cost you 1 red cent. And I thank you so much. Please tell your friends and let them know the next subscriber to my podcast will indeed be the winner. And if you're already a subscriber, you can tell them exactly what it is they're going to win. Big Ten football meetings transpired this past week in Chicago. The coaches, head coaches, all got up and spoke. Kyle Whittingham, boy, the years have been kind to this man. If anybody doesn't look their age, it's University of Michigan coach Kyle Whittingham. Guy doesn't look a day over 50. Boy, amazing. And anyway, they all spoke, said the right thing. Kurt Signetti of the national champion Indiana Hoosiers got up, spoke. He said he's glad to see football back after taking orders from his wife all summer. He's glad that he was going to be the one giving the orders here as football practice starts. So he took a swipe at the SEC. If you haven't seen that, you can get it up on YouTube. I think what Kirk Signetti said at the Big Ten meetings. But to paraphrase, he took a swipe at the Southeast Conference. Quite frankly, I agree with him. No, just hearing him speak, just hearing the man speak, you can understand why he has been so successful. He's a damn good coach. So football, Big Ten football will be here before you know it. Wolverines get underway on Saturday, September the 5th. It's a night game, 7:30 at the Big House against Western Michigan. That game will be broadcast nationally on NBC. Spartans get underway the night before, as they always do. That game will be on the Big Ten Network. So good to have football back. Rocket Mortgage Classic, or just the Rocket Classic, is going on at the Detroit Golf Club this weekend. And if you haven't heard, this will be the last year. And this is the only professional tournament on the tour that plays in Michigan. I think the women's tour has a couple of different events, one in Grand Rapids. I think they still have the one in Toledo yet, or Sylvania, whatever, the Jamie Farr Classic. I think Jamie Farr, of course, then started for so many years in MASH, actually is from Toledo. That's why during the MASH episodes, the writers on that show incorporated a lot of stuff in there about Tony Paco's restaurant in Toledo, which is still there, by the way. Okay. Tigers, Casey Mize. News came out about 9 o'clock this morning. Maybe it was 10:30, I guess. Casey Mize, who was supposed to pitch, tonight, game 1 in Sacramento against the Athletics. And by the way, the mayor of Sacramento has came out last week and said he wanted to make one thing clear, perfectly clear. These are the Athletics. They are not the Sacramento Athletics. We've got nothing to do with them. Yeah, they're just using our ballpark. And it's going to be a marvelous facility that they're going to be playing at Dome Stadium in Las Vegas. Beautiful. And speaking of dome stadiums, Tampa Bay Rays are hopeful to have a shovel in the ground sometime in September on their new domed stadium in Tampa, directly across the street from Raymond James Stadium, which is where the Buccaneers play. I mentioned Tampa because where they play now, Tropicana Field, is actually in St. Petersburg. They're known as the Tampa Bay Rays. So if successful, if they do break ground and get going, they hope to be in there by 2029, I think. And I think if they were to, and I don't think it's an impossibility, if they were to win the World Series this year, they get their fan base would, they'd increase their fan base down there. You got to remember, there's a lot of transplanted New Yorkers down there too. But so they hope to have a shovel in the ground for their new stadium sometime in September, to be in Tampa, not St. Petersburg, which is where Tropicana Field is now. Oh. Okay. I got sidetracked. I'm sorry. Casey Mize is a scratch tonight. It's a bullpen game. We're being told this doesn't necessarily mean there's something imminent or a deal in place to trade Casey Mize. I'm a little bit confused by this. You know, if he's a healthy scratch, what does this mean? I don't know. Does this mean that teams have inquired about him? You're having negotiations about trading Casey Mize? This is what's very frustrating about Scott Harris and the Tigers. Other general managers, folks, are saying they have not heard anything from him. Not one general manager has said he has got the phone call from Scott Harris regarding Tarek Skubal. You know, at this point, I know it sounds absurd. Sounds almost absurd. At this point, I don't think they're trading Tarek Skubal. Might trade Casey Mize and Kleber Torres, maybe even Kenley Jansen, the closer. But I don't think there's any. I know it sounds ridiculous or absurd. John Paul Morosi, the Major League insider for the MLB Network, said this morning in a 15-minute interview on the ticket with Costa and Jansen, the last question they asked him, okay, what's your gut feeling? Where's he going? And he said, I think by Monday night, I think it'll be a Dodger. See, the Dodgers, folks, are obsessed with the idea of winning their third consecutive World Series. No National League team has ever won 3 consecutive World Series. The Dodgers want to be the first to do that. They are obsessed with winning the World Series this year. Well, we'll find out just how obsessed they are. Dodgers have a lot of money, deep pockets. They've got a sweetheart TV deal that they were grandfathered into, but of the top 100 major league prospects, the Dodgers have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 prospects in the top 100 in baseball. A lot of them are outfielders. Right at the top of that list is Joshua DePaula. He's the number 4 overall prospect. I don't know. Again, if the Dodgers were to give some of these high-rated prospects up. To me, they'd have to have an extended deal in place with him. In other words, beyond this season, a lucrative long-term deal for Derek Skubal. Here's the dilemma. Here's the dilemma the Dodgers or anybody else faces. If they want to negotiate a long-term deal with Derek Skubal and his agent, Scott Boras, before they make a commitment like this or make a trade, the problem is Scott Boras. Scott Boras doesn't work that way. He wants his agent to hit the open market this offseason. That's just the way Scott Boras works. And you got to remember, this year, after the World Series ends about November the 1st, you'll have about 30 days to get something done if you're going to negotiate a long-term deal with them. Because come December the 1st, the current collective bargaining agreement between the owners and the players union will expire at 12:01 a.m. on December the 1st, which means you don't sign anybody, you don't trade anybody. Players cannot use their team's facilities to work out. Any player who is on the 40-man roster will be subject to the lockout. This will not affect anybody in the minor leagues. That's what I'm a little curious about them bringing up Max Clark, who was, if you hadn't heard, they called him up yesterday from Toledo. He's having a very good July down there. If Max Clark is on the 40-man roster when the season ends, he'll be affected by the lockout. Pardon me. It's the smoky air today, folks. The smoke is back. If you hadn't noticed, the haze and the smoke from the Canadian wildfires is back again. That's what this is. Hopefully that rain coming out tonight and tomorrow will wash some of that out of here. Anyway, number 4 prospect overall for the Dodgers, Joshua DePaula. He's an outfielder. Number 2, ranked 12th overall, Mike Serrata, also an outfielder. These guys are major league ready. I'm telling you, they're major league ready right now. Number 3, he's the 20th prospect overall. Another outfielder, Zaire Hope. Zaire Hope, yet another outfielder. Eduardo Quintero, the 33rd ranked prospect overall, an outfielder. Now, 49th overall ranked Emil Morales. He's a shortstop / third baseman. 49th overall prospect. 70th overall prospect, River Ryan, a right-handed pitcher, ranked 89. I'm sorry, he's ranked 72. We got 3 more to go yet. Charles Develon, ranked 89 overall. Yet another outfielder. Christian Zuzedwa, a right-handed pitcher. He ranked number 92 overall. I hope I pronounced that right. Christian Zuzeta, Zuzeta. Christian Zuzeta. That sounds Hispanic. And then lastly, the number 98 overall prospect, James Tibbs III, a first baseman / outfielder. If Scott Harris doesn't screw this up, most of these guys are major league ready now. If Scott Harris doesn't screw this up, folks, they could contend next year already. Not just for a divisional championship, but for a World Series. I don't know. With each passing day, and again, you don't hear anything from Scott Harris. Nothing. Like he's going into seclusion or something. They haven't spoken at all. When the news broke yesterday regarding Max Clark, it was broke. We heard this from the reporters. Tigers haven't said anything about Max Clark. News this morning broke about they were scratching Casey Mize. You didn't hear anything from the Tigers. Reporters. Tigers aren't saying anything about anything right now. Nothing. Crickets. The obvious question is, where's Scott Harris right now? At this point, I'd say it's 50-50. And if you ask me, I'll tell you they're not trading Scooble. In their eyes, and of course, it didn't help when they went after the game Wednesday, wretched loss. Here's Torkelson standing on a soapbox proclaiming they're still going to make the playoffs. Yeah, right. Uh, I think they think if they can sweep the Athletics, they'll be 4 games under, and they think they can still win the division. I I know it sounds nuts, it sounds absurd, but you cannot with Scott Harris. You cannot assume anything, nothing, nothing. And like I said, if the Dodgers, you can't blame the Dodgers if they're going to give up, if they're going to relinquish these high prospects who are all major league ready now. The only reason they're not up here is that there's no room for them on a Dodger 26-man roster right now. These guys are major league ready. So you can't blame the Dodgers for not wanting to give them up without having a long-term deal in place for Derek Skubal, not just a rental. But again, his agent doesn't work that way. That's what makes this all so complicated. His agent wants him to hit the free agent market. He doesn't want to make a deal now with anybody. Okay, commercials. I can get it out. Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. The #1 sit-down restaurant in our area. Nothing comes close. This place is the best. The Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road across from Aeroswick Printing. Everybody knows where the Finish Line is. Been serving our community proudly now for the better part of 4 decades, 40 years. You can't, I can't, what I'm telling you now is a testimonial. I don't have a script to read for them. It's just the best sit-down restaurant in our area. Where do you want to start? The hours of operation, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. They are open through Labor Day. They are open until 8 Thursday and Friday night. Friday, all you can eat fish. Thursday, classic car driving. Award-winning breakfast served all day. A lot of great new menu items. Fast, friendly service. Great family atmosphere. You won't find a better restaurant, sit-down restaurant in our area here in the Finish Line Family Restaurant on Carlton Road in Hillsdale. And I can promise you, when you fuel up from food at the Finish Line, you will always finish first. You won't pay your bill, and it's very reasonably priced. When you consider how prices are raising now, just food and gas prices these days. Anyway, once you pay your bill and you head out the door, you have a big smile on your face for good reason. Okay? I better see you all there. Russ brought to you in part by Barrett Insurance. Seniors, have you got your playbook ready for Medicare? Don't let healthcare costs bitch you. We're calling an audible with Joe Rudin at Barrett Insurance to help you navigate Medicare and health insurance. So, whether you're aging into Medicare, you're in a special enrollment period, or simply you're losing other coverage, Joe's got the stats and the know-how to help you score the best coverage for your needs. Plus, you get a game plan for retirement healthcare costs. Okay? Now, what about businesses? Businesses don't get sacked. Joe's got group health coverage options for you as well. You give Joe a call at 517-849-1000 or check him out at www.barrettins.com. That's all one word, 2 R's and 2 T's, barrettins.com. You find them on the corner of US 12 and M99 in downtown Jonesville. That's Joe Rudin Insurance, protecting your dreams, 517-849-1000. One more time, that's barrettins.com, Barrett Insurance, protecting your dreams. And Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale, Tech Services, 37 Walton Street, 517-610-5372. The only place, the only tech service the only tech service in our area. Tech Services, 37 Walton Street, as I said, downtown Hillsdale. Quality PC, any tech service, tech needs, service sales. This is the place. Tim Lilly and his staff, folks, are more than capable of resolving any technical issues or dilemmas which you may have. Doesn't matter what it is. Computer is newer used, flat screen TV, monitoring programming setup. Maybe you're changing internet providers. You need that installed. Printers, newer used, anything at all. Just get in there and see them. Okay? Tell them Rick and Mickey sent you. Thank you very much. Again, that's 37 Walnut Street in downtown Hillsdale, 517-610-5372. Thank you very much. Third day of practice for the Lions. I think they put the pads on Sunday. Nothing new to report on the Jahmyr Gibbs hold in. Hold in, yeah. Not a holdout, it's a hold in. What's the difference? Well, he's there. And he's going to the team meetings. He's working out on the side. He's just not practicing. Well, ergo, he's not being fined $50,000 a day if he were a holdout. Not there. Couple of injuries report from practice this morning. Jimmy Roller, the rookie linebacker out of Michigan, and Lee McNeil, the veteran defensive tackle, about a year and a half removed from ACL surgery. Oddly enough, before they hit the practice field today, Dan Campbell said they were expecting big things out of him. He left practice this morning with an injury. Nothing to do with his knee. It's a neck issue. Hopefully it's not too serious, but enough that he was removed from practice. In Jimmy Roller's case, if you followed his career at Michigan, and he stayed fairly healthy last year and had a pretty good year. But leading up to that, he was hurt a lot at Michigan. And lo and behold, now this morning he leaves practice with a leg issue. I wish I had more specific news to tell you, but that's it. So Roller and McNeil both left practice this morning with injuries. Remember, the first preseason game is Thursday the 13th at Cincinnati. I'll have more on the Lions probably on Monday, but of course Monday will be a busy day talking about what the Tigers did or didn't do. And sadly, and I say sadly, Tony Romo, who was part of the number one broadcast team on CBS for football, along with Jim Nantz. He was Nantz's analyst. And as you know, last weekend, he was arrested in Milwaukee for driving under the influence. No need to go into all the details. But CBS did announce this morning that he was being placed on leave. His place was going to be taken by former edge rusher J.J. Watt, who's obviously now in the broadcast booth. So for the time being, anyway, he will be working with Jim Nantz, and they will be the number one team this year. Jim Nantz and J.J. Watt. They're saying Romo's been placed on leave, but I'll be surprised if you see him again. And that's sad. It's so unfortunate. Boy, you can't drink and drive. You just can't. And you think of how many innocent people have been killed by drunk drivers. It's sad, very sad. And fortunately for Romo, the good news is he wasn't hurt, or he didn't hurt anybody else. But he's gone, and they're saying he's been placed on leave. But sounds to me like it's like it's permanent. Okay, that's going to do it. Give us a listen, if you will, tomorrow morning from 9 to 10 here locally on WCSR 92.1 FM. Timeout show with Andy and Jed. Andy has a guest on tomorrow morning, and the head football coach at Reading High School. And you want to hear that. So give us a listen in the morning, if you would, please, from 9 to 10. I'll talk to you all again on Monday. I doubt very much the Tigers will have made anything significant by the time we hit the air on Monday. I will wait until after 6 o'clock Monday until the deadline passes. So if anything does transpire, I'll be able to talk about it with you all. Okay? All right. Well, till Monday then, I bid you all, again, thank you so much for watching and listening. Please tell your friends what we're doing here. So till Monday, I'll bid you all a very pleasant, happy, safe, good weekend. And simply say thanks so much for watching. Good night. So long, everybody. Bye bye.